Hey everybody, Jordan. Yeah. Anyways, so yesterday I had another show at the I had a show at the Pink Cow. Well, I didn't have a show. There was a show, and I was lucky enough to participate in it, and it was really great. We had like 100 people show up, or a little more than 100, I think, by the end of it. And it was great. Everybody did really good. Lots of laughs were had all around, and it was a really great audience. Like really, they were very, really responsive to everything we were saying. So I'm going to put a link up to that. Or actually, I did already yesterday, and it's already got 2 views. So that's cool. And 1 like. It's always nice when people actually click the like button after watching something. Anyway, so there's that. And I had a really interesting discussion with a friend of mine yesterday. And we had emailed, there's a friend of mine back home, and we don't really get to talk that much. And I suggested we start emailing. And I can be a very snarky person, and sometimes I forget how that comes across in emails or any sort of written thing like instant messaging and stuff like that. That's not always read very well. And my friend had mentioned that they were reading this book about some social issue, and I kind of made an offhand comment about how I think people who write books about social issues are kind of assholes, because to me, the people who stand up and say this group of people have it really bad, whether it's GLBT people or black rights advocates or Jewish advocates or whatever they are, I don't like those people. I think they're all assholes, because to me, and I guess it's because I feel like I don't have that group of people, because I'm white and a guy. And so as far as everyone else is concerned, nothing bad could ever possibly happen to me because of those things. And I think that's bullshit. I think that I have just as much a right to say that I've suffered because of just being me. Like, I used to get my ass kicked all the time just for being a specky, geeky kid. And, but no one wants to hear about that because I'm white and a guy. They don't care about the fact that I grew up in a place that was, had a lot of Mexican and Latino and Hispanic kids in it, and that I used to get called, whitey and güero and, gringo and all this shit, and I got knocked unconscious once, I got punched a lot, and a lot of, teachers never did shit for me because they were Hispanic or whatever. I went to traffic court once, and I watched as, like, all these other Latino guys just got, pats on the head, and they got off real easy, and then, I hadn't really done any. This one woman passed out unconscious because she was taking too much medication, and drove off the side of the road with her son in the car. And the judge, who was Latino, was just like, "We'll just try not to do it again." And then for me, it was like, yes, I'd gotten into an accident, but to be fair, it wasn't really my fault, because this car was parked in the middle of the road around a blind turn, and it was like, I think anyone would have hit them. But she acted like I was like this horrible person, and I feel like my race played a part in that. So my point is, it's like, I don't care about groups. I don't care about one group being prejudiced against. I care about the fact that anyone is prejudiced against. I'm not gonna not stand beside you because I think that men are less prejudiced against than women. I think everyone in their lives has been prejudiced against. I think we've all suffered that, but we're taught that only certain people get to wear that badge of like, oh, well, because of my sex, my race, my identity, I was specifically targeted. And you know what? I don't think that's true. I think there are assholes in this world. I think there's assholes, and they'll justify their dickish behavior by whatever. And if they're going to say like, oh, well, I'm just picking on this kid because he's gay, if that kid wasn't gay, they'd find some other kid to pick on. And, maybe they wouldn't have picked on the gay kid. They probably would have picked on the kid like me, who was just quiet and nerdy and sat in the corner, because that's who the kids at my school did pick on, because there weren't any gay kids, there weren't any transgendered kids, there weren't even any black kids. So the kids who looked like me got picked on. It's a fucking tiered system, and we're all in it. And the thing is, it's not that, we focus on the victim too much. We focus on the kid who gets beat up, and they're like, well, why did he get beat up? Oh, well, he's gay, so people kicked his ass. And it's no, he got his ass kicked because those guys are assholes. Forget the kid. He's a good person. He didn't deserve to get picked on. But no, we focus on them and we try and say, like, well, we need gay rights. And it's like, no, we don't need gay rights. What we need is we need asshole education. We need to educate the assholes in the world so that they know that this kind of behavior isn't okay. It's never okay for one person to feel so intensely about their point of view that they feel that they have the right to go and beat the shit out of another person. That's never okay. And it shouldn't be acceptable. And we shouldn't just think like, oh, well, it's going to happen or whatever. And we just need to have, like, of course people should be tolerant of everyone. Of everyone. I think and the thing is, it's like when we have things like the NAACP and all the, I can't even think of like all the gay rights, groups and stuff like that out there. I feel like it pulls us apart because it's like, well, okay, if I want to support black rights, I got to go over here. And if I want to support gay rights, I got to go over here. Why can't we do it all at the same time? Why can't we just be humanists? Like, why can't we all just fucking for everyone forever? Like, that's what I want. And so when people like want to hand me a book about like, oh, we'll read this book because it gives like a good description of why you shouldn't be homophobic, it's like, of course you shouldn't be homophobic. There's no good reason to not like someone other than you just don't like them, and that's fine. I don't like a lot of people, but you shouldn't like them for some superficial reason. It's all, I just get so angry about this shit because it's so stupid. I think the more we talk about it, the worse off we are. We shouldn't even be talking about this bullshit because it's like, it's like we don't talk about why you should like your parents. You just do it. And I feel like it's the same with other people. We don't need to talk about why it's okay to be gay. It should be because there are gay people. So fucking get over it. Just get over your bullshit and stop talking about it, and let's deal with like the real issues, which is like, and like here's the thing that drives me crazy more than anything else is the fact that it's like they focus so much on people like you look at like Cat Williams or Tracy Morgan or whoever says comedians. Of all the people, they focus on comedians and they attack them because they say some off comment or whatever. And then it's like, but meanwhile, in our government, we still don't have fucking more than a handful of like, gay and black and Hispanic. I don't even think we have any deaf, politicians out there in the world or city councilmen. And no one even thinks about that. What about deaf people? Those people are prejudiced against more than anyone. Fucking Alexander Graham Bell used to lock deaf people up and pour burning hot wax into their ears trying to cure them, okay? Like, there's been fucked up shit perpetrated against every group of people in the world since forever. So I don't want to talk about it anymore because it should just be a fucking given, okay? And I'm sorry if I'm getting a little upset about this, and I'm just talking to my computer anyways. But so when people come to me and they're just like, oh, I'm reading this book, I'm just like, well, I don't care about that book. And the person who wrote it is probably an asshole because they care more about that group of people than me. And I think that's bullshit. Because I think I have just as much right to be upset and pissed off about the shit that's going on as any black, Jewish, gay, or fucking handicapped or differently abled or whatever you want to, PC term you want to use. I have just as much right to be pissed off as they do because I think what's happening right now in our world is bullshit. I want to see a day when we have a black, gay, deaf president. Like, I think that would be awesome because I'm sure that guy has a point of view that is just as valid as, Barack Obama's or George Bush's or anyone else's. But they're never going to be listened to because they get marginalized. But I don't think that they're just being marginalized because they're deaf, gay, black, Jewish, whatever. I think it's a bigger problem in that there's like the people in charge, and then there's the rest of us. And as long as like we're segregated and trying to figure out who deserves, to wear this badge of oppression more than anyone else, we're not going to solve these problems because we're all fighting amongst ourselves, or like people in charge are fucking us over. So, to anyone out there who thinks that I'm like fucking trying to dismiss oppression against certain groups of people, go fuck yourself, because you know what, it happens to us all, and it happens in very subtle ways that we can't attach labels to. So I'm out. That's all I got. And I hope you enjoyed listening to my rant for the day. I think this is going to be it. It's just going to be Will Bolt's. I said my last name. Go look me up. I don't care. It's just going to be Will's daily rant. I should do that. I'll just get pissed off about something and just rant for 10 minutes. Fuck it. Not like anybody watches this thing anyways. Oh, except Jordan. You're my dog, Jordan. And some other guy. Some guy left me a comment on my last rant. He said it was cool. So thanks to that guy too. I should remember usernames.